Thank you again for tuning in to our Retirement Education Center YouTube channel, where on this channel, we believe in providing you unbiased advice that will help you maximize your retirement income. Now, on our channel, we do not believe in giving you any type of silver bullet strategies, and we certainly do not believe in promoting any one type of hotshot product. But what we do believe is giving you some holistic concepts that will help you retire with full confidence. Now, if you're planning to leave your workplace early, perhaps before the age of 59 and a half, there are two rules that we are going to be discussing today that you need to be aware of, and that is the rule of 55 and the rule of 72T. Both of these rules will allow you to tap into your retirement resources early and avoid that 10% early withdrawal penalty. So we are going to talk about the differences between those two rules. And so if you are retiring early, you're going to want to stay locked into this channel today. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Concepts videos. These videos are created to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Absolutely, Andrew, because with so many retirement strategies out there and so many retirement concepts, and of course so many retirement products, it can become very difficult for consumers to digest it all. That is why we're so fortunate to be working with a team of expert advisors that will help us build a financial roadmap that will let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement income, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Carson, you covered the rule of 55 in another video a while back, and it was by far the most watched video that we've had. So why do you think that was the most popular one?
You know, Andrea, I looked at that video and how popular it was, and so many people were commenting on trying to understand this rule. And I do believe that this video was so popular because so many people now are looking to retire early. And they are looking to make sure that they can actually have enough income in order to bridge that gap if they are going to be retiring early, of course. And so the rule of 55 will allow people to do so. Now, there is another rule that is even more flexible in allowing people to tap into their retirement resources early as well. And that's known as the rule of 72T. We did a video last week about that particular rule. And so today what I thought I would do is just talk about the differences between the rule of 55 and the IRS rule of 72T so people can understand which may apply to them and which one that they may want to utilize for their own ability to bridge the gap of their income if they're retiring early. So that is what we're going to be discussing today. But before we do, there are always two rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And Andrew, what are those two rules?
Well, rule number one is to never run out of money, and rule number two is to never forget rule number one. Carson, could you first explain again what the rule of 55 is?
Absolutely, Andrew. The rule of 55 basically is if you leave your workplace, or if you're fired or laid off from your workplace at the age of 55 or later, you're able to extract money out of your 401k without incurring the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, if you are a public employee like a firefighter, or you are a police officer, you can even utilize this rule at the age of 50, just so you understand that. And so if you leave your workplace early before the age of 59 and a half, as long as you leave that 401k in place, you can actually take money out of that 401k, a distribution, without incurring the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, that 401k cannot be an old 401k from another employer, and it cannot be an IRA, but it has to be within the 401k company that you just recently left. And if you do so, you can exercise the rule of 55 and start taking distributions out of that account without getting hit with that annoying 10% early withdrawal penalty.
Okay, Carson, thanks for explaining that definition. So now, can you explain the differences between the rule of 55 and the rule of 72T?
Yeah, and there are some major differences between the rules, although both rules allow you to take money out of your retirement accounts early. So let's just start with something basic here. Like I mentioned, when it comes to the rule of 55, you're going to have to leave that money into the current employer's 401k plan in order to take that money out and avoid that 10% penalty. When it comes to the rule of 72T, it is highly recommended, even though you can leave it there, Andrea, it is highly recommended that you actually roll that money over into an IRA. And so you can then control the funds a little bit better in an IRA, and you can start taking money out of your retirement account utilizing the rule of 72T in that manner. It doesn't have to stay in the 401k like the rule of 55. Another big thing is that, as we mentioned, it's the rule of 55, right? And so the rule of 55 says you have to be at least age 55 or older in order to exercise this rule. Or, of course, if you're a public employee, you can be age 50. But you can be at any age when it comes to the rule of 72T to take substantial equal periodic payments out of your retirement accounts. And so you can be 45. It doesn't have to be the rule of 55. You can be 45 and start taking money out of your IRA and avoid that 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, there are some other major differences here. Now, with the rule of 55, of course, as long as you leave that money in that 401k, you control the distributions out of those accounts. So you can literally start taking money out. Maybe you get a job and you say, I don't need any more money from the account now, and you can stop it. Now, when it comes to the rule of 72T, Andrea, you do have to take those periodic payments over 5 years or until the age of 59 and a half, whichever is longer. So, Andrea, if you are taking those payments at 45, you literally have to continue those payments for another 15 years in order for those payments not to occur that 10% early withdrawal penalty. You cannot stop it. So, Andrea, you can understand how confusing these rules may be. And so therefore, anyone who's looking to take money out early from their retirement accounts, you're going to want to seek professional advice to see if it's going to be suitable for you to do so.
Carson, you personally recommend that people use these rules as a last resort of taking income, correct?
Andrea, I do, absolutely. As a fiduciary advisor, I understand completely that retirement is going to be pretty long for most people now. People are living longer. And so we highly recommend that if you're going to be utilizing any of these rules, you let them be the last resort, because you don't want to start taking money out early. I've said this many times before. You don't want to wake up at 75 and hate the decision you made at 55, or even worse at 45 if you were utilizing the rule of 72T. I would highly recommend that people look at other options first and let this be the last resort of touching those dollars. Perhaps you get a part-time job. Maybe you move in, back in with a parent if you have to. Whatever you need to do in order to not touch your retirement funds too soon, because when that money is gone, there is no replacement. You can't actually finance your retirement. So you got to make sure that your younger self is going to be taking care of your older self in these situations.
Carson, are there any other circumstances that would cause someone to avoid this penalty so that they won't be forced to use these rules?
That's a good question, Andrew, because you want to make sure that you understand what your options may be, because maybe you think you have to use the rule of 55 in order to extract money out of the account, or maybe rule 72T if you're under the age of 50 or 55, depending on your circumstances. But there are some other circumstances that would allow people to take money out of their retirement accounts and of course avoid that 10% early withdrawal penalty. That's what everybody's trying to do. Now, Andrew, if you have some unreimbursed medical expenses that would exceed 7.5% of your adjusted gross income, you can actually take money out of your IRA account and actually avoid that 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, for instance, if your AGI was $100,000, for instance, and you had medical expenses of $10,000, well, then you can extract at least $2,500 out of your IRA to avoid paying that 10% early withdrawal penalty. Another instance may be if you're looking at education expenses, tuition, books, that sort of thing. You're looking at paying for any type of educational expenses, where you can take money out of your IRAs and avoid that early withdrawal penalty as well. If you are a first-time home buyer, you can take money out of your IRA or 401k and avoid that early withdrawal penalty. So there are several other things that you can look at if you fall under that particular title, would be able to avoid that early withdrawal penalty. And of course, you don't have to, rely on any type of Rule of 55 or Rule of 72T. And that, of course, would be a good thing for you because you don't want to turn on any amount of income if you don't have to. Utilize some of these other options if they are available to you, and that would make things a lot more convenient for you, of course, down the road later on in your retirement years. So, Andrew, did that clear up that particular question for you?
Absolutely. Carson, thank you again for your insight on this topic, and thank you for watching. And if you felt this information was beneficial for you, please like and share with others.
So I really do hope that this information gave you some more insight on how the Rule of 55 will differentiate from the Rule of 72T. Please remember that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links provided in the description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.
For more information about this topic or any of the other topics that we've shared in our other videos, please feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions or comments in the section below. After this video, please check out our other videos that we've created that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.